Dream's coming. Dream's coming. Oh, give me a second. Oh, yeah. I don't know if anyone's even here yet. Impromptu stream. I was going to stream at, I'm only 8 minutes late. That's good. All right. Forgot it was Mother's Day, so I had to lay some sod down at my parents' house. So I'm going to have a quick little beer here before we jump right into the rosters. Oh, yeah. All right, what's going on, everybody? This is 3 straight days of a live stream. Today, we're working on the top 25 college teams of all time. And we're on number 3. We started at 25. We're all the way down to number 3, which is Ohio State. In the coming week, I have 4 more of these live streams based on college that we're going to do. So probably in 2 weeks' time, we'll be done and moving on to the next one. We still have to do Oklahoma, Alabama, and then when those ones are done, I'm going to do an all-time college roster connected franchise mode. And as per suggestion in last night's live stream, small school connected franchise mode. So there's plenty of legends that went to small schools, Div 2 schools, Div 3 schools that we will do. But today, we're doing Ohio State. As you can tell by the coach's name, you see that coach's name? Quit Gators, I'm sick by, a.k.a. Urban Meyer. I am still salty about that. But let's look at our roster here real quick. So happy Mother's Day to all one woman that probably watches me. To all you mothers out there. We're using the Chiefs as our base roster, by the way. Looking at the quarterback spot, we have 2 QBs. We could have made a couple wide receivers quarterbacks, but we're just going to roll. We have Troy Smith, who I think is debatably the best quarterback Ohio State has ever had. Probably the closest quarterback to winning a HEISMAN, potentially. He didn't really quite make it out in the NFL. I remember he played at Baltimore. He was the quarterback back before rebuilds were on YouTube, and I was even YouTubing. Troy Smith is usually the quarterback I like to pick up and try to develop into something special. He's one of my buddy's favorite quarterbacks. So we're rolling with him with a 93 overall. At the backup, we got Cardale Jones, who everyone knows. He had that pretty much played 1 season, it seems like, and went off and took him pretty far. But Troy Smith, I don't think you're going to find too many people that disagree that Troy Smith is debatably the best quarterback in the history of Ohio State. Now at the running back position, we have Archie Griffin here, 99 overall, the only 2-time Heisman Trophy winner in college football. He played at an era, like, I don't know. It's personally, I wasn't really watching college football around then. I'd assume if he won it twice, maybe the lack of competition, maybe the level of competition wasn't so high, but I could be wrong on that one. But the fact that you are a 2-time Heisman Trophy winner, best believe you're getting a 99 overall. We have Eddie George here with a 93, another legend, Tennessee Titan legend, big-bodied back. We'll be using him a little bit. And then we have Zeke here with an 81. And shots fired, fuck Dallas. Fullback, we just kept Okoye from the Chiefs' legendary rosters. Wide receiver, we have Chris Carter, who we gave a 97 overall. The man who was dubbed only catches touchdown passes. Well, unfortunately, he couldn't put it all together with Philadelphia. We had to trade him to Minnesota, and then he finally decided to become good. We got Ted Ginn Jr. here with a 95. Was, one of those guys kind of started out as a bust. And, it seems like with the Dolphins, he wasn't really that great, but he was pretty good with the Panthers over the last couple seasons. And when he was at Ohio State, he was debatably, He's a very, very notable Ohio State player. So give him a 95. We got Joey Galloway here, one of the fastest wide receivers to ever play the game with a 93. Michael Thomas, 85. Terrell Pryor, no, he was a quarterback, but we're rolling him with an 83. And we got Philly Brown with an 80. What the fuck? Braxton Miller. Oh, we have Braxton. Okay, I thought I had Braxton Miller. I guess the computer decided to make him a practice squad member. At the tight end spot, we have Jeff Heuerman, who gave a 92 overall. It was kind of, not a great school for tight ends. I was looking at the top 5, and Heuerman made it. He's already in the game, so we decided to just make him the tight end. We have Nick Vanette and Jake Stoneburner here as well. Left tackle, we're going with Orlando Pace. Debatably the best left tackle of all time. The inventor of the pancake block. He's getting a 99. And Taylor Decker. I did not include David Boston because of steroids. Left guard, we got Jim Tyrer. I don't know. No idea who he is, but 91 overall. And Andrew Norwell of the Carolina Panthers with an 86. At center, we gave big old Nick Mangold a 92 overall. He was a great center for Ohio State. Right guard, we got Bob Vogel, who I think was from the legendary Colts roster, who's a 91. He was a tackle, but we're moving to guard because there wasn't we had to disperse all the talent amongst the offensive line. And at right tackle, we got Jim Parker, 97 overall. I'd say you'd probably have to say Orlando Pace is the best, but Jim Parker is probably the second best offensive lineman in the history of Ohio State. Now on the defensive side of the ball, Cam Hayward, 95 overall. Mr. Ironhead. I'm pretty sure his dad was Ironhead, so he's really good. We got Joey Bosa, who we gave a 95 just because he's the most overpowered player in Madden this year. Hopefully in Madden 18 he's not nearly as overpowered, but defensive side of the ball, he's pretty much unblockable. They're both left ends. We're going to swing one over to the right-hand side. But Joey Bosa is absolutely unstoppable in Madden. I don't care. You can put Orlando Pace, John Ogden, and friggin', I don't even know, someone else on him. He'll just spin move behind you. Defensive tackle, we have John Hankins, 87, and Adolphus Washington, 87 as our D tackles. At left side linebacker, we moved James Laurinaitis from the interior to the outside. He was a legend. He's a tackle machine for the Rams for quite a few seasons, so he's a 93. We got Darren Lee, 77. Middle linebacker, we got Chris Spielman, who's a Detroit Lion legend. Tackle machine, 99 overall, is one of the best college football players. Just right before I started getting into college football, but he was a tackle machine. We got Randy Gradishar here, who was from the Denver Broncos legendary rosters with a 90. Right outside linebacker, we got Mike Vrabel. Everyone remember Mike Vrabel? Now the DC, I think. I think he got promoted to DC of the Houston Texans. So he's a 91. We got Ryan Shazier here with an 84. Jumping to the secondary, we got Dick LeBeau. Yes, not only is he a legendary defensive coordinator, most notably with the Pittsburgh Steelers, he was really, really good with the Detroit Lions, and he was really good with Ohio State. So he's a 91. We got Malcolm Jenkins, who started out as a corner and eventually now is a strong safety for the Philadelphia Eagles. But as a secondary, he was pretty good as a corner. We got Bradley Roby, 87, Eli Apple, 87, and Chimdi Chekwa, 85. At free safety, we got Jack Tatum getting a 99, the hardest hitting player, I think, in the history of football. Pretty sure one of his hits ended up murdering a guy. I think he got, paralyzed. Jack Tatum said he didn't give a shit, and then that guy, died of complications. So he indirectly murdered someone with a hit. He has, a hit against someone on the Vikings that exploded their helmet. Legendary Oakland Raider, so he's a 99. And at strong safety, we're going with Dante Hittner, a.k.a. Dante Whitner, with an 88. We got, maybe the coverage ability is not great in our safety, but heaven forbid, we're going to get a bunch of forced fumbles along the way, and that is the Ohio State roster. And if you're new, what we do is we sim to the halfway point of the season, see where we're at, and then we play the divisional opponents from there on out. Let's get her in the chat. Santonio Holmes and David Boston. So I guess I kind of slept on the wide receivers, but can't have everyone. Mike Vrabel, yes, we did include Mike Vrabel. Joey Bosa better than Myles Garrett. I think we have an Ohio State fan. Maybe I should have included. Santonio Holmes because I do believe Santonio Holmes' catch against the Arizona Cardinals in the Super Bowl is the greatest catch in the history of football. Who do I think is the greatest Michigan State player of all time? Ooh. Well, it's looking in terms of talent, it might be Le'Veon. You might have to say Le'Veon, if he continues his path, could go down as the greatest one to transition into the NFL. I can't remember off the top of my head who I even used on those rosters. I know it was Kirk Cousins. I can't remember who he's on the roster. We're 6-1. It's looking nice. Let's keep rocking and rolling. Odell's catch, Santonio. Odell's catch came in a regular season game against the Cowboys. Santonio's catch won the Super Bowl. Can't compare the two. Do you think the Titans will win the AFC South this year? If I had to bet on a team to win the AFC South, I would go with the Titans. Well, I'm interested to see how and when Marcus Mariota comes back. Is he the same player before his injury? I don't know. All right, we're 8-2. We're playing the 7-3 Denver Broncos. AFC West as competitive as always. Let's rock and roll. But, yeah, we're rocking and rolling here. Originally, from this list, I had Alabama number 2, Oklahoma number 1. Because Oklahoma's roster is not nearly as, big-time names, we're going to go Oklahoma next episode. We're going to finish with Alabama. I think Tuesday will be the next time we do a live stream. So let's see these lovely Ohio State roster. Look at these jerseys. Wow, that looks nothing like what Ohio State wears. Excellent choice. Is LJ Scott underrated? A little bit. Are you a Tom Savage believer? Yes. Are you married? No. But I do have a girlfriend that is a mother. So it's a Mother's Day. Shout out to mothers. All the mothers out there. Best for last. No, Alabama sucks. But that being said, look at Oklahoma's roster. Like, the boss. You got Brian Bosworth. You got Leroy Selman. Adrian Peterson. Sam Bradford. Like, those are the names. Clearly, we're going to, outside of the quarterback spot, Alabama has a lot better historical players. So we'll end with that. Brian Bosworth, the best college linebacker of all time. I'm going to say, he's obviously, yes. Everything incorporated, yes. I mean, Manti Te'o's worth a shout. He almost won the goddamn Heisman for Notre Dame with his fake girlfriend. Plenty of other, like, good notable ones. But I'll give the boss. I love the boss. Everything about the boss was great. What do your YouTube demographics look like? I think my things are 95 to 5, male to female. My viewers, I think it's like the broad strokes, it's 90% America, 5% Canada, and then like 5% Europe. That's pretty much it. I don't really have age demographics. I'd assume that my age demographics like 16 to 25. It's kind of big. 18, hopefully it's a little bit older. But I know the kids love the Madden these days. Mills Day, yes. Next year you're going to do all the colleges again. Maybe. I mean, you have to wait and see, because next year if they create a team, it might be pretty fun. Now, I'm going to tell you right now. Next year if they create a team, I will probably try. I'm going to see if anyone else on Xbox is willing. If they have, like, no real restrictions, I may try to create an NCAA game. Try to create all, like, not, it might be tough to create all of the college teams, but if they have created a team, I might try to make an NCAA game. That would be very ambitious, but we'll see what we can do. Did you put Sean Taylor in the greatest Hurricanes roster? Yes, I did. I think it was a 97 overall. Oh, he ran into the tackle. Terrible. What's up, everybody? Everyone tuning in late. We got 84 people. What's going on? We got 84 people on my end. These things always look kind of wonky. It doesn't actually track the actual people that stop and watch it. Because like every time it's over, it's like, oh, you got 300 people watched you. I was like, okay. I guess it's like concurrent viewers or something. I don't know. But we opened up with a field goal, so let's get it rocking and rolling. Feel confident that we'll make a nice little playoff push. I got some time to kill before I have to do some Mother's Day celebrations. Should I subscribe? I think you should, man. It's a great time over here. We go sick touchdowns like that, all right? Sick touchdowns like that. Would you play story mode? I will play story mode because sometimes you guys in the chat are geniuses. You're not just trolls. And someone said I should do an NCAA Road to Glory, so like a create a player in NCAA, and then I'm going to finish it right before the new Madden game comes out, and I'll carry that character over into the story mode. So like, I really love that idea, so I'm going to do that. I don't think anyone else is going to do it. And if anyone else does it, they're ripping me off, and you let them know. You let them know C4 sub, loyal sub came up with that idea. As he just throws terrible touchdown passes. Should college athletes get paid? Yes, they should. If you're the Eagles and Bengals, offer Bernard or Hill for Kendricks in a fifth, would you take it? If I'm the Eagles, I would certainly take that. If I'm the Bengals, well, the Eagles, we don't need Giovanni Bernard. We pretty much have that in Darren Sproles and Pumphrey, but, got it off. Jeremy Hill, I mean, he's nothing special, but neither is Michael Kendricks, really. So I guess it could be, like, somewhat strengthening with upside positions and needs on either team. Who do you think is the greatest free safety? Sean Taylor? Brian Dawkins is the greatest free safety. Oh, that was terrible route running. Hey guys, just uploaded a video. You can go fucking suck my dick. Okay, I'm going to squad. Thanks, 2K God. Shout out to fucking Isaiah Thomas. Let's get it. Who's going to win the AFC West next season? I'm pulling for the Raiders. Oh, it's a broken play. Do you Do you think SEC can send 2 teams to the college football playoff? Eventually, yeah. They're the best conference in football, but I don't necessarily think it will be next year. For that to happen, you're going to need the top team in the East not to play Alabama somehow. I think it's going to take maybe not. If one of the Alabama has to go undefeated, and then the East team has to have 1 loss. I don't think there's any team in the East this year that will only get 1 loss. Go Hurman. Do you think Penn State should have been the college football playoff over Ohio State? I certainly do. Out of principle. I get why. Okay, Ohio State is a better team, but everything says that was just a screw job. That's like saying the runner-up gets to go to the big game just because they're a better team, more established. You're gonna do better for reviews. I'm not gonna call timeouts. So let's fucking go for it. I think you have to win your own conference to go to the playoffs. If you're not the best team in your own conference, why should you represent that conference? You think Malik McDowell is going to be an all-star? Maybe, with that defense. Oh, let's go, Ted Ginn! Woo! When are you going to start the NCAA idea? Probably mid next month. Like I said, I got a bunch of series and shit I want to get done and, off the books before I do that. That will come in once I'm done doing the Madden 18, Madden 17 roster reveals. And that'll probably be the middle of June? Early June? We'll just scramble here. A little scramble-eski. Do I like Tic Tacs? No, I don't like Tic Tacs. Why didn't you do Pitt? Because I did, for this roster, I just did whatever some guy's website considered were the top 25 teams. I suppose I could probably stretch to another video and do the best. Well, I don't know, man. That'd be a little bit tough to make that roster, but yeah, only the top 25 teams. So Stanford wasn't included, Pitt wasn't included, Oregon, Arkansas. I think actually Razorbacks were in it. There's definitely some notable omissions. Do you think NCAA should change its playoff system to be bigger? I think they should. 8 teams. See, this works again. Oh, let's catch it out of principle. There we go. Do you think the NCAA has a bias to the historic powerhouses like Ohio, Florida, and Alabama? A little bit. I mean, I'm a fan of Florida, so I don't want to act like we don't have bias, but it's all about me. It's money. It's money driven. Even though they don't get paid, if there's a tiebreaker and the tiebreaker is this team will get way more views, that's a thing. That's definitely something that happens behind the back doors. All right, let's start getting Archie Griffin involved here. Do you think Myles Garrett will live up to the hype? Yeah. Depends what kind of hype you're listening to. I'd say the hype for me is a guy that can get double-digit sacks a season. Not saying he's going to be like a Justin Houston or J.J. Watt that's going to get 15-plus sacks, but I think Myles Garrett can be a guy that gets at least 10 sacks a year, which is, 10 sacks a year is a good player. You're not necessarily an all-pro because you do that. But he has a lot of the intangibles you want. Would you make a follow-up to these series that features the biggest college bust like Jamarcus Russell? I already did that. That was a live stream. All-time college bust. It has almost 100,000 views, so you can check that out. Even if you just want to look at the roster that I used. For Madden 18, make other notable rosters for good players like Pitt. Maybe that's something I could do, because it'd be kind of repetitive to do this series again, because it's pretty much the same players, just in another game. As we had Ted Ginn again for the touchdown. Let's rock and roll. Who's your biggest underdog for this upcoming season? It's a tough one. Underdog. So that means the team that could do good, most people think are going to suck. Maybe the Cardinals? I mean, it seems like, I don't know. I don't know what the general view is of the Cardinals. But it does seem like a lot of people are kind of writing them off. Like, oh, yeah, it's just going to be their last year. But, I mean, Bruce Arians is one of the best coaches in the NFL. So maybe he'll be able to get it done. That could be my dark horse. They won't suck. Best inside linebacker best inside linebacker this last year. Okay. I don't really know what that means, but I'm gonna go with Jordan Hicks because Luke Kuechly was hurt. I'm gonna go with Jordan Hicks because he had better, like, Pro Football Focus, as much weight as you want to put into Pro Football Focus. He had, like, ungodly better coverage stats than any of our corners. I know you're apples and oranges, but still. How weird, creepy questions can we ask me? Well, I'll just shit on you if you ask too creepy of a question. Who do you think is the greatest Big Ten cornerback of all time? Jesus fuck. Well, let's just see who we got here. It's kind of tough. Not a lot of great corners from Big Ten, historically, I'd say. Like Nebraska, Michigan State, Maryland. Probably, who's best Michigan? Probably Charles Woodson? Gotta say Charles Woodson, definitely. Eagles realistic playoff odds. I'm going to give the Eagles 65% chance of making the playoffs. I'm from Germany, but a big fan of you. Danke. Danke, danke. I don't know. I don't know any other German. Hey, go Bayern Munich and German national football team. Lukas Podolski, yay. Do a college roster with players that have wackiest nicknames. That's where you start pulling at strings here to get ideas. As a Cleveland Browns fan, I'd like to know what your opinion is on stacking up on draft picks. This is the best solution, 100%. You're a team that it's going to be very tough to get a lot of free agents to come in. You're never going to make a big splash, I don't think, in free agency. You're going to be able to get probably guys to improve the lines. Like you saw, they spent a lot of money on offensive linemen. But I don't think you're ever going to see Cleveland get the big wide receiver, the big quarterback, the big run, the big skill position players. So, building through the draft, yeah, that's the way to go. Are the Rams fucked with Goff at quarterback? I'd give them one more year. Do you think the Panthers will bounce back? If they stay healthy, why not? Oh, Galloway got popped. Other than sports, what do I like to do? Well, now I spend time with my baby. I play sports, I guess. Even though, like, I'm getting up there to old man age, I'll still do pickup sports. Oh, no. Yep. Well, that's a great start there. That's fantastic. Yeah, right now, man, it's tough because right now with the baby, it's pretty much if I'm not just relaxing, I'm not doing YouTube in my spare time, it's the baby. Do you think Goff's got to bounce back? I don't know necessarily if he's going to bounce back. Because what does he really have to bounce back from? He didn't have a whole lot of help there. Let's be honest. Let's be... Oh, come on, X. Okay, we'll just scramble. Do an all-injury-plagued college player roster. Again, you're kind of pulling at strings there for what I could do. Maybe an all-injury team, a team of guys that get hurt all the time. Oh, why'd I do that? I haven't even ran it with Archie Griffin. He's the fucking title of the video. We're going to need to pick it up. The 6-6 Raiders are handling us right now. All right, what is it? Third and... if it was third and short, we would have got it going. Do you follow Portuguese league football? I wouldn't say necessarily follow it. I know the teams. I know a lot of the good players that are there. I don't get up here in Canada. We don't get that shit. I know there's Benfica, there's Porto, There's Sporting Lisbon. That are the good teams. Braga. I want Danilo to come to Arsenal. Pereira. He'd be phenomenal holding mid. I know. I could probably hold a conversation with it. Oh my God, these questions are fucking going crazy. Opinions on Utah. That's the newest one. If I skip your question, because we got a lot of people here, just don't spam it, but you can ask it again. We go Archie. Opinions. Utah. They are one of those teams in the Pac-12 that's, I don't think they're ever going to win it, but at least you could tell they prioritize defense. Seems like a lot of teams in Pac-12 are all offense, and I'd say Utah is traditionally, maybe with Washington, teams that produce very good defense. Oh my God. Yeah, just the fucking, oh, come on. How do you think Alshon Jeffrey will do with the Eagles next year? He needs to stay healthy. I'm not going to come out and say, oh, Alshon's going to be an all-pro, because my biggest thing with Alshon, positive or negative, is he needs to stay on the field. Do you think, I saw that the Eagles dropped Gerard Evans. That kind of sucks, but as an undrafted free agent, I guess he picked up an injury, and if you can't showcase what you got, there's no sense having you hold up a roster spot. How's Big Ben fat yet still good? You can be athletic and a little thick, What BPL team do I support? Arsenal. As depressing as it is, I've been an Arsenal fan since like 2001. How's that not okay, C4 special? We're getting it going. So DGB go back to the Titans. DGB should just go to like the fucking CFL. That's a soft enough league for him. Thoughts on DGB? Wasted talent. He's a guy that he just 100% looks like a guy that doesn't care about football. All right, C4 special did not work. Do you think Dak Prescott's going to win MVP the next 3 seasons? I do not. I think Dak Prescott is more going to go on the path of Alex Smith, being a guy that can win for the Cowboys, versus being a guy that can win MVPs. There we go. There we go. Archie Comics. Madden 18 C4 special mode, only run pitches. I guarantee we can win. If you ever everyone always wonders how Eric Dickerson broke like the rushing record. All they fucking ran was C4 specials that whole year, pretty much with them. Back with the Rams, it works. That could be a good video. C4 special only, one-off connected franchise mode. But then again, who knows if it'll be as effective next year as it was this year. I guess as an Arsenal fan, do you also want Wenger out? Yes, I do. Do the greatest dead college football player team. It's kind of morbid. I'm only going to run C4 special this game. That's what I'm going to try to do. Because we are playing very bad throwing the ball right now with Troy Smith. Except they've had to play in the NFL. I mean, there you go. I guess that's one I could do. Honoring them, maybe. But what do you think is going to win the AFC other than the Patriots? Steelers, Raiders, some team in the AFC West? Oh, man, this is working. This is working. Jamarcus is the most awful bust ever. Yeah, probably. I think he's a bit worse bust ever because he got paid that money, too. Like, it wasn't like just like he was a quarterback that got stuck on, like, today's current rookie contracts. He got paid big money. So in terms of, like, an investment and what they lost on that, yeah. Will the Mountain West team ever be able to go? To the championship, they're never going to have a strong enough schedule that I think anyone would give them any credibility. Like you saw last year, like Western Michigan, I think they only lost once, and there's like the highest, they were like 14-15, somewhere like that. So I don't think they'll ever have a strong enough schedule to. Maybe they expand it, which is what they should do. Don't you want to find out what the best team is? That's the whole point of the college football playoff, was so that maybe every year or so, every other year, you might have like a Boise State that's undefeated, but because there's level of competition, we don't know. So that's where you put them in. Are they the best team? Let's see if they're the best team. Let's not just go with the most popular teams. Thoughts on Danielle Hunter and what do you think the Vikings record would be? I like Hunter. Young, upside. I think the Vikings next year. Throw it. Oh. Don't know their schedule off the top of my head, but I'm going to say that the Vikings contend for the wild card. I mean, that's a logjam in the division. Really depends if Sam Bradford can actually not throw checkdowns the whole time. Hold him from a touchdown. Let's go 4th down. Let's pop in. Let's see if we can make him stop here. Let's bring a blitz. Let's be savages. All torn ACL team. LSU is known for their elite quarterbacks. They are. All 0 that I can name off the top of my head. Zach Mettenberger. Probably like the best LSU quarterback. Oh, no. All right, okay. Okay, Pim, we got Ted get on the outside. All we need is to get in field goal range. I think we can do it. You think Michigan State's going to have a bad season, or are they going to have a decent season or a really good season? Michigan State? They'll probably be like middle of the park. Oh, just like that. Oh, Joey Galloway! Joey Galloway, go! Oh, no, that's a... There you go. That's how we do it here on Beast Mode TV. You got 97, 98 speed wide receiver. He just does that. He puts it down. Troy Smith and Joey Galloway for the game winner, hopefully. Here we go. Let's get it. What up, Cam Newton? Hit the dab. Juve going to win Champions League. Yes, they are. They're my money. Should the playoffs go 8 to 6? I think they should go to 8 teams for the playoffs overall. Just shorten the season or take like the last week, which barely anyone plays, and make that. Best underrated fantasy football player I've ever drafted, Peyton Hillis. I got Peyton Hillis on that year with the Browns. I didn't draft him, but I got him on the waiver wire like the week after he had his first big game. And I rolled him. That, or I drafted Adrian Peterson in the 3rd round the season he came back off his ACL, and that was the year that he almost broke the rushing record. He won me the league that year. Do it all the white team. That's racist. What do I think about the Panthers? I think that they should probably bounce back next year if they stay healthy. Most underrated player of the draft, Zay Jones. Cranking out these college team franchise. Hell yeah, bruh. Trying to get this series done. There's too many damn series right now. So the quicker I can finish this, the quicker we can move on to the next thing. So we got 4 more episodes of this. We got, for those of you that just tuned in, next episode on Tuesday night, I'm thinking, will be Oklahoma. And then we'll finish probably in the weekend. Maybe not, depending on the next time, with Alabama. And then we're going to do an all-time college roster. We use the best players that were featured throughout this series. And then someone suggested that we should do all small school. So players that wouldn't have been featured. So there's 4 more after this. As we're getting ready to take on the 8-6 Denver Broncos. No one's acknowledged my coach name. Come on. Quit Gators, I'm sick, bye. All dreadlocks team. I remember when I was a kid, I pretty much thought that if to be good in Madden, your player had to have dreadlocks. Did you ever do an all undrafted team? Yes, I did. That was a live stream maybe a month ago. Ryan Leaf also got paid. Yeah, fuck Ryan Leaf. That guy's idiot. Celebrity crush, not Kay Adams. I've been a big fan of J-Lo for quite some time. But, You know what I like? That the brown chick from Suits. Her name's, what's it, Rachel? Rachel from Suits. I don't know her name. She's good. She's good. All D2 team. That is we're doing a D2, D3 kind of team for the last live stream of this series. Oh, we're in the snow. Okay. Best QB in Madden. What's that mean? What does that mean? Best quarterback to play with? I'll tell you the surprising quarterback that was good that we didn't even touch, and that was E.J. Manuel. I remember we just played with a stock E.J. Manuel. I got like MVP with him. 47 touchdowns. That or Brandon Allen. Oh, how you gonna let me hit that slant? How you gonna let me hit that slant? Slants for days. All speed team? Maybe. If I only get some speed. Who's the starting quarterback of Florida? I think it will be Felipe Franks. I hope it is. Give us some hope for the season that this giant 6'7" quarterback can get us Even though he doesn't play like Cam Newton, can we just act like he's Cam Newton? Oh, you got to complete that pass. When did I start playing Madden? Like Madden 2001? Madden 2000, 2001, somewhere around then. That's Madden, though. Football, that was a terrible field goal. Worst field goal kicker on YouTube. First football game were the old hits games. The old NFL hits, or Blitz. NHL hits, but it was NFL Blitz. 98, 97, 98 on N64. Those are the first football games I played, but they weren't really football games. Remember, Bill Romanowski on the Broncos was fucking my guy. Do I think Teddy Bridgewater will ever play again? Yeah, he will. I don't know if he'll ever be good again. Who's my favorite quarterback to use in Madden? If this is all time, you have to say Michael Vick. I'm liking Carson Wentz, to be honest with you. I usually play with the Eagles, so I can only speak for Eagles quarterbacks. McNabb was never really that bad. Early McNabb, when he was always the second fastest QB behind Michael Vick, but he had much better passing stats. He was really good. Kevin Hogan, Kevin Hogan's good. What's my favorite movie? Pound for pound, favorite movie, not trying to score points, Step Brothers. Outside of that, I have a bunch. I'm not one of those guys that has like one live and die movie. Like, I have a list of probably 15. Who's the most overrated player out of the draft? Trubisky going at 2. Gonna have to put that one there. Cam Newton is a beast. Cam Newton is a beast, even though he left Florida. And fuck that guy, because he did that. Oh, that was terrible. The snow is blocking my eyes. Who do you think's the laziest quarterback right now? Brock Osweiler. Guy's like no emotion, no leadership. Seems like we should have just kept running C4 specials. I think that's what we should have done. Favorite football movie? I think Remember the Titans is probably the best start to finish. Rudy's. I like all the football movies. I don't have one that's one a lot better. I'd probably say Remember the Titans, but Rudy was awesome. We Are Marshall was awesome. Fucking Any Given Sunday was awesome, but I didn't see that till a little bit later because it was an adult movie. Favorite Madden? The last one I think I really liked was the one that had Larry Fitzgerald and Troy Polamalu on the cover. Here we go, Ted Ginn. Too easy. Chris Harris. Ooh, you ain't got nothing, son. Worst movie I've ever seen. Alright, so I can't remember the name of it. But it was a movie it was like Pineapple Express guys, but it was like a wizard movie or something. They're trying to do like this shitty Peter Pan fucking, I think it had Franco. That was the worst movie I've ever seen. Can't remember the name of it, but it came out after Pineapple Express. It had like the same people. Like that was the big thing. It was like from the people that made Pineapple Express. It was god awful. Who will be the Browns starting quarterback? I think we'll start with Kessler, and then they may eventually move to Kaiser. But yeah, shows Remember the Titans. Gary Bertier, baby. You like Madden Ted? Yeah, Madden Ted was good. Royal Highness. Yes, your Royal Highness. That was the worst movie I've ever seen. That or Insidious. Insidious 1 wasn't bad, but then I saw like the other 2 in theaters. It was the only time I've ever walked out of a movie. I was like, this is the worst movie I've ever seen. Should NCAA football games come back? Yes, they should. Yeah, Mahomes overrated. That's definitely a shout, considering he's like a second-round grade quarterback that ended up getting traded up for. Some team, Chiefs, traded 2 first-round picks for him. That's definitely a guy that could get that tag. McSorley out of Penn State going to fly up draft boards. I don't know if he's going to fly up draft board. If he plays well, certainly, but it's just like the size. I don't know if he's big enough. He's like what is a guy like 6 feet tall? 6'1"? 200 pounds? I just don't know if he's going to be big enough to really get drafted high. Worst TV series I've ever seen. I'm gonna go by like a series that was hyped. Here we go, Ted Ginn. Oh, diving catch! Let's go. Right now, unless you almost want to lean towards Better Call Saul, because I haven't watched the new season yet, but I've been watching it. I'm waiting for something to happen, but nothing's happening. I don't want to say it's the worst though. If I had to pick an RB of the future for Philly, who would it be? Saquon Barkley. What was the worst pick in the draft? Trubisky. Trubisky, or if not Trubisky, Shaheen. So, Bears own that one. They own that one. Or Marquise Haynes at Ole Miss be worth a first-round pick? Yeah. I think he'll be probably a late first-rounder. Unless, obviously it's so early for people that say, like, oh, here's my mock draft. You don't know. What if someone gets hurt? What if some guy, like, comes in 10 pounds overweight and he sucks now? But it's way too early. But yeah, if everything stays as is, it'll probably be a late first-rounder, I think. Best food ever, Donair. And Harrison asked, is Donair the same as a gyro? Not at all. It's the sauce. Like, it's one of those things, I put a picture on Twitter of it. It doesn't do it justice. That's a nice little touchdown there. It's like the meat itself is not, like, it looks like a taco or like Chipotle, people are saying all that stuff. Like, the meat's like a spicy hamburger, but it's not too spicy. It's greasy as shit. And then the white sauce is like candy. That's probably the best way to put it. It's like a sweet candy sauce that's fucking delicious. Sometime, if I ever get big enough that I can have like a meetup at like an Eagles game, I'll tailgate and I'll bring that. Barkley or Mixon? Barkley. Just sitting here as a Bears fan in the corner. Well, you got Eddie Jackson, the safety. He's good. You got Jordan Howard last year. You got a good draft. You got to put this way. The Bears had one of the best drafts last year, getting Whitehair and Jordan Howard. Thank you for Joe Douglas, by the way. He led our draft board now. He's now on our team. But you guys had a good draft last year. Just think about that. Just think about Whitehair and Jordan Howard. You got Jordan Howard in the 5th round. That should be able to get you guys through this year's bad draft. We're playing the Chargers. We know what happens when we play the Chargers here. Would you trade a player on your team right now for Randall Cobb? I'd trade Nelson Aguilar for Randall Cobb. Why did Kansas City not take Watson? He's like McNabb. I was very surprised. I thought if they wanted a quarterback, they would have went Deshaun Watson because Andy Reid might see him as kind of like McNabb. He's not really the next Don McNabb. Don McNabb has much more arm talent when he's coming out of Syracuse. Like, put it into terms, Deshaun Watson is going to have like 88 throw power in Madden, where McNabb had like 95 every year, if we're doing it in Madden terms like that. But yeah, I was very surprised that the Mahomes was the guy they wanted. Juwan Jennings going to kill Florida. Yeah, right, buddy. Gators got that shit on lock. What round do you think Lamar Jackson will land on? Depends what he comes out as. He's going to be a quarterback, a skill position player. Got to wait and see. Do you like Darius Geis from LSU? Love him. Second favorite running back in the class. I like Barkley and Geis over Scarborough. What do you think of Dante Foreman from Texas? Originally, I saw him. I just thought he's one of those guys that just got a sheer amount of catches or touches last year, and that's why his stats were so good. But then, as a new parent, seeing that pre-draft story about where he lost his son, I'm pulling for him now because of that. What do you think of the realistic standings for the NFC East? Too hard to tell, man. Like, obviously, as an Eagle fan, I'm going to put Philly at 1, but any of those teams, I think the Redskins are probably the team that's on the outside looking in right now. I'd say I could comfortably put the Redskins as the worst team in the division, but you never know. It's anyone's division next year. I guess that could be considered a hot take. You'd be like, oh, well, the Cowboys dominated. I think literally anyone can win the NFC East next year. It depends on who stays healthy, who gets on fire early. Thanks, Chase, for my pack ripping edition. Yes, I ripped so many packs. That money is going to go towards definitely me ripping a pack. Thanks, bro. Thanks for being a sick Twitter follow, too. We always talk on Twitter. Okay, well, not always talk. I'm not cheating on my girlfriend with you, but Why are most quarterbacks skinny when they enter the NFL draft? Because you don't need a big-bodied quarterback in college. That's like the same kind of question. Why don't quarterbacks in college fucking play under center? Because it'll better help them transition NFL. Because it doesn't work in college. Slender Flame means you can run more. They're not on like the same kind of weight programs either. And you don't have to be as big because you're not going to take the same kind of hits you will in the NFL. Oh! All right, let's rock and roll. Still 0-0. 0-0 draw. On Joey. Let's go Galloway. Here we go. Joey Galloway gets in there. Legendary. Who's Joey Galloway most associated with? He played with the Seahawks. I think he played with the Cowboys a little bit. Well, I want to say the Bucks. Is that where Joey Galloway? That's what I'm missing out. Missing what team I'm thinking of. Hey, that's the biggest donation ever. This guy's fucking won the lottery. Guy got a fat ass over here. Yeah, man, I remember anyone from Twitter. That's why if you guys don't follow me on Twitter at beastmode_TV, I talk with my subs. As long as you're not a troll, I'll fucking talk to you. Hell, I ask for your guys' input on a lot of videos that I do. If I do like, you know, live stream, I'll be like, what live stream you guys want to see? And then I'll look for your guys' input. Oh, come on, Huerman! Huck! Would you take Ezekiel Elliott and put it on your team? What does that mean? This team, Zeke is on this roster that we're watching right now. And would I put him on the Eagles? I would put him on the Eagles. He's better than any running back we have. There's a lot of players on the Cowboys. I think, honestly, the only Cowboy player that would clearly be an upgrade that I wouldn't want is probably Dez Bryant. Fuck that guy. Anyone else, give me them. Tyron Smith, Jason Witten, Zach Martin, Travis Frederick, Sean Lee, Byron Jones. I'll take any of those dudes. Any chance of reviving the Madden Great Series in the future? Maybe next year if we get a little bit bigger following for that, but it just took me way too long and you guys clearly weren't. Like, put it this way, most of my videos after 24 hours, let's go Archie, are at like 1,500 views, and I did the last episode for the Madden Greats was the Bills, and after like 24 hours, I was at like 500. So I just took that as literally like no one gave a shit, and it took way too long. I don't use Twitter, use anything else. Instagram, I have Facebook. I have a Facebook that I'm going to try to use more. It's Papa C4. I don't, Beast Mode TV, Papa C4, something like that. I think it might be linked in, oh, that's a fumble, get out of bounds. If you go to literally any of my non-stream uploads, it's in the description there. Some people have had trouble finding it, but I'm going to try to start using that a little bit more. Excuse me. Who's the next Rebuild Revival team? We're on the last one, the finale. It's going to be the Cleveland Browns, and it's this Friday. I got to record it still, but yeah, this Friday. When's the next Chip Kelly rebuild? The next Chip Kelly rebuild will be when I feel like doing it. I know that's probably not the answer a lot of you guys want to hear, but I have to be in a mood, because clearly I'm just fucking clowning around that whole video, and to like think of things to say and reference, I kind of have to be in the mood to do it. So those things are going to be, if I feel like doing one, I'll record it, and it's always going to come out on a Friday. Rebuilds will always, this Madden, next year's Madden, will always come out on Fridays. But those are not scheduled. Those just happen when I feel like doing them. I think the next team will be either Green Bay or the Giants. Come on. There we go. Ted Ginn. Any chance of taking Dak Prescott? What does that mean? Like, would I take him on my team? I would not want Dak Prescott over Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz, in my incredibly biased opinion, is the best quarterback to come out of college since. Well, I don't want to say that. I think when you look at the body of work as a rookie, I think Wentz is right up there, more so with Mario Marcus Mariota and Jameis Winston than a lot of people think. And that's the thing, you're not even trying to be biased. I think that you look at their rookie seasons and what they had to do, the kind of responsibility. I think that Wentz is right around Winston territory right now, as they were both as rookies. I was going to say Andrew Luck, yes. He's the best QB prospect since Andrew Luck, but oh, fucking sack. That's a little stream. Andrew Luck is the best quarterback prospect that I've ever seen coming out of college. Andrew Luck's the kind of guy that was like a first-round prospect, like his first season that he played at Stanford, and he was just first round every year past that. It's crazy. I don't know if there's ever going to be another Andrew Luck with that kind of hype when he was coming out of Stanford. Do a Chip Kelly rebuild of the Patriots and trade Gronk for a third rounder. That's going to piss a lot of people off. Have you ever done one of the fantasy drafts in franchise mode other than the normal active roster? I think we did that once, actually. I think I did. After I did my Team Legends, which was the last live stream series, I think I did a fantasy draft. I think I did. Who's lazier, Cam Newton or Rodgers? I mean, I don't want to say Cam runs for his life, so I don't think it can be. I don't think either one of those guys is really lazy. Oh, come on. All right, we'll go for C4 special here. Do I like DLCs or dicks? Gay for pay, maybe. Best quarterback next drafts. I've got asked that question countless times, and my answer, to be fair, is it's too early to say. I think a lot of quarterbacks this year in college are playing to be the number one quarterback. I don't think there's one for sure number one right now. Have you done a Chargers rebuild? Yes, I did. It was one of the first ones I did, and that was the first time we really figured out that the Chargers are the most overpowered team in Madden this year when it comes to the sim. I think we won the Super Bowl. We had the worst roster out of any of the rebuilds, and we won the Super Bowl. Spoiler alert. I think we won in the second year. Are you going to rebuild the Cardinals? That will be a Chip Kelly rebuild. Because there's a story about the Cardinals rebuild. I was doing it. It was going to be my last actual scheduled realistic rebuild, and we won the Super Bowl the first year through the sim. I didn't trade away a whole bunch of people. We still won the Super Bowl. So I figured, using that, I think that was the way the game's saying, hey, we don't really need to do a rebuild of the Cardinals here. Do you believe the hype in the quarterback out of USC? Sam Darnold? Never believed the hype of a USC quarterback, but I do think he's talented. I'm interested to see how he plays this year. There's another sack. Who was your pro comparison for TJ Watt? Can't remember who I said it was on the top of my head. I'll just try to think right now. Who does TJ Watt remind me of? He's a project, I'll tell you that. He played tight end. I think he's only played linebacker for a season. But the way that he plays, that's a tough one. I think he has really underrated coverage skills at the line. He has this. It's the genetic. I think if you're a JJ Watt, if you're a Watt, you're good at swatting the ball, getting past deflections. I can't think of one right now at the top of my head. Something in my head just keeps saying, say Sean Lee, but I think that's not really fair, because Sean Lee's more of a tackle machine, whereas JJ Watt's could be a guy that you want to, set the edge and get after the quarterback. You think Josh Allen's worth the hype? Not yet. Not of yet. I haven't seen enough of him. Would you take Aaron Rodgers put in as your starting quarterback of your team? Yes, I would. Aaron Rodgers is probably the only quarterback in the NFL right now that I would take over Carson Wentz. As there's another touchdown. GG. Can you also shout out the GOAT, Artie Burns? I meant to add to my donation thing. Artie Burns is the GOAT. He might be the greatest cornerback prospect I've ever seen. People say Dick Night Train Lane, his 14 picks as a rookie coming out of some bumfuck college in Div 3 is the GOAT. But Artie Burns, as a rookie, he fought through such adversity, family trials and tribulations to come to a team, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the one of the most established franchises in history, to already cement himself as the top cornerback on the Pittsburgh Steelers. You may think to yourself, well, what about William Gay? Well, I'm gay for Artie Burns, and that's why he is getting this shout out right now. What a rookie. He's a monster. Who should the Browns get with their first 3-round picks? Notice me. They have 3-round picks? Browns have 3 first-round picks? Next year? Do they? Jesus Christ. Way too early for me to think about that. Quarterback, probably. I think they'll probably burn one of those on, what do you call it? Quarterback. Maybe get another wide receiver. Corner. Ugh. Night Train Lane didn't play for a few years after he got graduated. Doesn't matter. That's even better. That's even greater. He just didn't play, and then he walked into being a monster. No, 2 1s, 3 2s. That's what I was thinking. I don't think they had 3 first-rounders. It's going to be fun during mock draft season, though. Actually, it's going to be fun doing the Browns rebuild. You have a lot of ammunition there. As we are getting kind of pummeled right now, but luckily we're able to get touchdowns when it counts. Kaiser's been pressing at camp apparently. Do you think he'll start by mid-season? Yeah. I'm pretty sure they'll go with Kessler as the starter just because, I mean, he wasn't even terrible last year. But, yeah, if he's doing good, it's going to be cream rises to the crop there. Cream rises to the crop. Cream modal? Cream rises to the top. So yeah, I can certainly see Kaiser. If he balls out, get that starting gig. Well, there's no point. I think it's one of those things. If he's the best quarterback, you just don't not play him because he's a rookie. If he's the best quarterback, you think he's the best guy to go out there and give you a chance to win, you let him go. What do you think about Kyle Shanahan as head coach of the 49ers? Good direction. I mean, I think if I was the Niners, I might have went with a defensive coach, but he's probably like the best. He's probably like the biggest fish in the pond for them to get for a head coach this offseason. Zeke's only on his 2nd year out of college. You call him legendary? I wouldn't call him legendary. He's just on this roster as the 3rd running back. Let's go. I guess he led the league in rushing as a rookie. That's kind of legendary. See, for the Browns rebuild, would you trade the O-line they spent so much money on? No. O-line is the one thing I will never get rid of a player unless... Oh, I mean, I did get rid of Joe Thomas because he was literally the only dude in our rebuild that could fetch us any picks back. But yeah, O-line I tried. Unless you're not like over 30, I'm going to try to hold on to you because I don't want to use my exciting first-round draft picks on drafting offensive linemen. Oh, there's a lot of questions there. How do I get these rosters? I made them. Thoughts on the Vance Joseph hire? Very surprising hire, to be honest with you. They got the DC from like the league's 28th ranked defense. They thought that's what they needed. You know? Stats? Yes, I will show the stats. I always forget. Shout out to King Josh. Always fucking shout out that I got to show the stats. Because if not, I forget them. The stats and changing the jerseys to the jerseys are the reason why I made whatever team's the base team, that team. I forget. So we're in the divisional round, taking on the Jets at Arrowhead. But let's look at the stats. Looks like Archie Griffin dominated. For the year, we got 4,600 passing yards, 42 touchdowns, and 11 picks from Troy Smith. We got 1,900 rushing yards, 25 touchdowns from the 2-time Heisman Trophy winning Archie Griffin, 447 and 8 from Eddie George. In terms of receiving, we got 78 catches, 1,400 yards, and 14 touchdowns for Joey Galloway, 794 and 7 from Chris Carter, and 1,112 from Ted Ginn, 550 and 3 from Jeff Heuerman. Definitely butchering that name probably. 129 tackles, from Chris Spielman, 105 from Vrabel, 103 from Ken Hayward, who had 22 tackles for loss. Mother of God. We got 10.5 sacks from Joey Bosa, the most overpowered player in Madden 17. 8.5 from Adolphus Washington, 7.5 from Cam Hayward. 4 picks, Jack Tatum, 3 for Spielman, 3 from Dick LeBeau, 2 from Eli Apple, 2 from Dante Whitner, 1 from Vrabel, 1 from Malcolm Jenkins. Can I be able to download this roster? Unfortunately not, because these rosters are a shit show. I only like releasing things to the public that I spent a good amount of time on, but I do. If you search my gamer tag, which is C4GERON, you can download my legendary rosters, which I think they have like 400 or 500 downloads already, which is alright. I'm only releasing rosters that are good and complete. That's why when I'm doing my Madden 18, Madden 17 rosters, I'm asking you guys in the comment section to suggest if I should alter the ratings because I want to be as best as possible. So let's rock and roll here in the divisional playoff against the Jets, which I think are legendary Michigan State rosters, I want to guess. We'll know right quickly if they have Kirk Cousins as their starting quarterback. Artie Burns is better than Primetime. I've heard about that. He is. Just put the gamer tag. That's easier. You search this. You can download my legendary rosters, which are all 32 teams have legends. Doesn't have Wildman Willie, unfortunately. But, yeah. Rod Woodson is the best corner ever. Debatably. I'm going to boycott EA if Artie Burns does not have a 99 overall. I think if he doesn't have 100 overall. I don't think if they bring back 100 overalls next year and they don't give it to Artie Burns, my God. I'm getting a refund. I was already telling you guys, man. I pre-ordered the fucking, what do you call it? Pre-ordered Madden. It was $103. So I'm going to be very upset that game sucks. All right, computer got us a touchdown. Computer got us 2 touchdowns. This is a 14, 14, 20. Are we even playing? Are we even going to let us play here? Finally, the end of the first half. 21-21. 41 points have been scored. We haven't even touched the field yet. The only problem with your roster is you have Steve Young better than Joe Montana. You gotta have an occasional hot take, you know? Rile some feathers. Would you take Eddie Lacy over the running back you have now? Assuming the running back we have now would be Darren Sproles? No. I'd take Darren Sproles over Eddie Lacy. Make a Twitter rant on how underrated Artie Burns is. I mean, well, his name's Artie. He sounds like a fucking sitcom character from the 1950s. From the Honeymooners. I just think that because I'm thinking of Archie Bunker. I don't know. You think Jordan Howard would have the same or production? Basically, I can't read that question right now. Would Jordan Howard be good on the Cowboys? Yes, he would. Jordan Howard's a great running back. I think almost any running back that's not a liability would be good on Dallas. All right, this sim's just not letting us play. It's 35-32, and we've had about 3 plays, so excellent. When's Alabama roster? Roll Tide. It's 2 more live streams from now. I'm doing Oklahoma in the next one, and then we're finishing up with Alabama. Roll Tide. Ew. How do you live with yourself? I'll truck him. Jordan Howard's Madden rate 18 rating. In my roster, I'm going to say a lot of people are going to be surprised what I gave him his rating. I'll say it's 85 plus. Was Artie Burns the second best corner in the... Yeah, Artie Burns, actually, not even trolling. Artie Burns was probably top... I'd say he's top 3. I think it was between Ramsey, Bradbury, and Artie Burns. I think Ramsey was 1, but then it's pretty much Bradbury and Burns as their starter. This game is a shootout. We're forgetting to play defense. We'll go with PA Power Out, which is pretty much Spider 2 wide banana. Will Philly make the playoffs next year? I hope so. Do you think Marcus Lattimore would have been good? Yeah, if he didn't get like his damn like leg burn off like a Vietnam veteran every year. I think he was good. I mean, he was really good at South Carolina. Will Mark Sanchez ever play football again? Unless some team gets really, really hurting for a quarterback, I don't think. What do you think of the Seahawks draft? Think they should have went offensive line more. Use one of their... They had like so many picks in the 2nd and 3rd round. They only got Ethan Posich. I think they would have drafted another offensive lineman. It would have been more warm to their final draft. I just think the fact that they didn't... I don't know how it worked, but I think they picked fairly early in the 2nd round. They took Malik McDowell. They didn't get Dan Feeney or Forrest Lamp. It doesn't make any sense to me. What happened to Marcus Lattimore? Dude, like, broke his leg like 3 times. What rating will Dak Prescott have in Madden 18? I think he'll probably be like 83. Low 80s? I can't remember what I gave him. I think he'd be under 85. I think 85's too overrating him, but I think he should be between like 82 and 84. Denver starting quarterback, I'd go Paxton Lynch. More upside. That is a shootout. 52-39 victory over Michigan State. Notre Dame. It was Notre Dame legends. Look at that. Troy Smith, O'Doul, and Joe Montana. Archie Griffin, 230 yards, 3 touchdowns to Jerome Bettis' 116-1. Catching the ball, Huerman went off. They had a little bit better production there. Defensive side of the ball, who came through? 14 tackles, Chris Spielman. Let's go. Moving to the championship. Do you think Josh Jones will be a great safety? I think there's upside there. He's a tremendous athlete. How'd the Bengals do in the draft? Well, they took Joe Mixon, so they can go fuck themselves. Don't you wish the Dallas O-line caught SARS? That would be, or they can get AIDS. AIDS would be fine. Starting OG for the Seahawks, Golwinski, ends up being the best guard in the league. Really? That's kind of surprising. Josh Garnett is a beast in Madden. Typically gives up no sacks. Yeah, he is good for the 49ers. I don't trade him. When are you releasing the Bears Madden 18 roster? I assume you mean the video? It's pretty far away. The Bears are coming out. They're one of the last ones I'm doing. I currently have the Bears ratings video coming out June 12th, so you may be waiting a little bit. But I can do the typical YouTuber. If you donate $1, I can bump, with the Super Chat feature, I'll bump the Bears till fucking tomorrow. But if not, yeah. It was random. I literally went on a random generator and put that in for the teams that are how I'm going to upload the roster videos. Because years past, I let people dictate it. I let people vote what roster they want to see. And that means, excuse me, for the last like 2 weeks, they're the teams no one gives a shit about. So I figure if I put the rosters people really want to see in combination with the other ones, it'll do a little bit better. You think Mixon is better than P-Ron? Yes, I do. When I do the all-criminal team, it's already prepared. The teammates just called the Bengals. That's hilarious. I don't even hate the... I remember I really did like Vontaze Burfict coming out of Arizona State. Should have just gone in alphabetical order. I could have. But then the people, the Texans, the Vikings, the Raider fans. There's a pretty big Raider following on my channel. They hate that. Choose only one quarterback, running back, wide receiver, and tight end from each NFC East team. What does that mean? Quarterback, Carson Wentz. Running back, Ezekiel Elliott. Wide receiver, Alshon Jeffrey. Yes, over Odell. And tight end, Jordan Reed. So I assume you're talking about my team. I would not be able to have Odell Beckham on my team. As we're getting body bagged. I remember Burfict went on. Vontaze Burfict probably had the biggest draft stock slide I've ever seen. He was like projected to be like early second round pick. Ended up going undrafted just because, you know, he shit the bed. What do I think of Victor Bolden, Barkley, and John Franklin? I don't really know who Victor Bolden is off the top of my head, but Barkley's a monster. Probably my favorite player in college next season. And John Franklin, I remember him from Last Chance U. Didn't they move him to... He was a quarterback. I think they moved him to... running back, maybe? Wide receiver? Position change for sure at Auburn. Hey! There we go. Hey, we are going up against Nebraska. There we go. Get a touchdown, win. Get 1 point lead. When will the Steelers ratings video be out? Steelers are... don't even see it on my little thing. On my little, fuck are the Steelers at? You're gonna have the ball. 31st of May, the last day of May is when the Steelers are coming out. Oh, that's a lie. That's a lie. I found it. 25th of May. 25th of May. So next, not this Thursday, but the next Thursday. Pretty favorable Steeler rating. We'll give Artie Burns a 99. Make a rebuild where only draft offense or defensive players. That could work. Oh, off the back foot. And he catches it. Oh, he didn't get his feet in. Oh, that would have been crazy. Victor Bolden. Is Victor Bolden the guy from Oregon State? That's what I want to get. I want to say that's where he went. Oregon State. Then if it is Oregon State, then yes, I know who he is. Most underrated NFL player. I'm still going to come out and say Fletcher Cox. Or Malcolm Jenkins. You like Artie Burns? I mean, he's not bad. Royce Freeman, where does he get drafted? If he balls out, maybe second round. I think Oregon is falling from grace. Oh my God, just like my team. Do you think Marshawn Lattimore can handle the wide receivers in the South? I would not want to put a rookie on an island against Julio. That's for sure. Okay, we're in the red zone. We get a couple touchdowns here. We're probably going to lose this game. Fuck. Do you think KD can deserve to get cut? I guarantee he missed like a meeting or something stupid like that. Oh, come on. So I assume it was something like the fact that he got cut and he was like regarded as like maybe the best undrafted free agent. I assume that that's what happened. He like missed curfew or was late to a meeting or was like talking off or some shit. There we go. Oh, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Who's going to be better, Artie Burns or Sean Davis? Who do I like better? I like Artie Burns. Oh, no. Well, this is going to be our last drive here, fellas. But not bad. Last stream over an hour, as always. Oh. Let's just manufacture a drive. Let's put Cardale in, because he has 99 throw power. That could make things interesting. When is the Colts roster? The Colts are coming out the 27th of May. Oh, that was a punt. Oh, that was a whiff. Who wins the Pac-12? I want to say Washington right now. Underdog. That's a hot take that Washington's going to win. But I think defense will prevail. They got good offense, too. All right, guys, let's get to wrap it up here for the Ohio State Legends live stream. As always, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. Literally, I don't know when the next stream is. I'm going to say Tuesday to be safe, but I never know. It could be tomorrow night. Just follow me on Twitter at beastmode_TV. That's the easiest way to keep up with when I'm going to be live streaming. But the next one will be the legendary Oklahoma Sooners roster. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty. So yeah, if you're the first time stopping by, you've been in the chat, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. And until next time, it's C4 saying peace out.